Hey there, good Sunday morning and welcome to Weekend Recharge. I'm Paul Goodlow.
And I'm Julie Martin, sitting in for Maria LaRosa today. You know, some big changes ahead in the weather as we head into Easter week. And again, severe weather is going to be one of them.
In fact, a thin line of strong thunderstorms could erupt today, roughly from Minneapolis, St. Paul, all the way down towards Oklahoma City. Now look for those storms to fire up after lunchtime in the Twin Cities and then stick around across portions of the Midwest right on through Monday into the Great Lakes region. That means, yeah, a lot of other cities could see some severe weather. Chicago, you're one of them. Indianapolis, Paducah, even Detroit, Saginaw, all could see severe thunderstorms as we head into your Monday. So again, Monday afternoon plans, be aware of what's going on with the weather and also how to keep you and your family safe.
Yeah, Monday afternoon into Monday evening. Certainly, we've got the setup in place. Our storm system continuing to track eastward. The moisture coming into play here from the south. And along that line is where we could see things start to fire up as we do get into the first day of the work week. Unfortunately, your evening commute probably not going to be the greatest throughout these areas.
So to talk about the low-level winds here, all contributing to the sheer environment here. So we still definitely see it screaming in here from the south and southwest, which also, yeah, gives us a chance for severe, but also that wind direction is going to warm us up. So definitely we'll feel on the warm side, getting more people outside, but also exposing them to more danger. So again, here's our widespread look at Monday in terms of the red. Look how it continues to push into the southern Great Lakes and also into the Ohio Valley. But it just doesn't stop on Monday. It continues as we head on towards Tuesday as well.
Yeah, Monday evening, that threat still existing. Again, some of the bigger cities, Chicago, Indianapolis, Detroit, scattered showers and storms. You'll notice that line, though, goes all the way back, honestly, into Dallas, where we're going to be watching for some more severe storms as well. So by Tuesday, it looks like that threat diminishes, and now we're just talking about plain old rain and maybe a couple of isolated storms, but nothing on the severe side.
Right, scattered showers and thunderstorms definitely pushing into the northeast, where you too enjoying the southwesterly wind. So our spring is finally on tap this weekend. I should say this week as we head on towards Tuesday. We'll see our temperatures surge to the 60s and 70s and finally start to melt some of those old piles of snow still sticking around from time to time.
All right, but we got to get through the next couple of days in terms of that severe weather. But for today, for most of you there in the Midwest, looking pretty good.
Right. All right, let's talk about more on the storm stay across the southern tier. Again, the southern part of this starts to stall out across Texas, which means, well, we're not going to see the progression of storms.
Right.
We start seeing day after day of the same area potentially dealing with some severe weather here. So even through this afternoon and to this evening, we're talking about the I-35 corridor, parts of West Texas, even towards the Big Bend. You can see some scattered showers and thunderstorms and more into Monday.
Yeah, that system basically stalling out here. So from Dallas down into San Antonio, that's where we could see things kind of rocking and rolling tomorrow. I think they get a break, and then later on in the week, perhaps some more storms as well, Paul. But it's going to be rough stretching from north to south.
We'll have the southeast forecast when Weekend Recharge comes back. We're turning up the heat from warm to hot.
The days ahead, in fact, finally seeing a big turnaround here in the northeast. Temperatures are going to be coming up. It's going to feel a whole lot more like spring. So right now we're looking at 47 for you in Boston, 50 in New York, 48 here in Philly. We've got 43 in Burlington, but keep in mind you were just dealing with some snow. So even the 40s are probably feeling pretty good. As we track out our highs for today, New York, you're going to be up in the mid 60s, as well as Philly. DC, again, right around that 71-degree mark. So looking very nice here for your Sunday throughout most of the region. All right, here's a look at where your highs are settling, and anywhere from 15 to 20 degrees above average as we hit Tuesday of this week. So we're going to continue to warm Monday in through Tuesday. Places like Boston, you're high around 74. New York, you're going to be up to 77 likely by Tuesday. And DC, you're likely going to be in the 80s. So the warmest air of the season arriving here for you. We've got this nice setup here with high pressure, this moist, or these winds from the southwest actually riding over this ridge here. So again, those highs anywhere from 15 to 25 degrees above average by the time we get into the first part of the work week. So those highs are going to be settling in very nicely for you in places like New York for tomorrow, mid 70s for you. Boston, you'll be right around 70 degrees. Pittsburgh, you've got mid 70s, and then we're talking 80s as we head back into West Virginia. So certainly looking like a spring again, finally arriving here in the Northeast. By Tuesday, the warmth just continues in New York at 77. Again, DC, you're going to be in the 80s for Tuesday. So Monday into Tuesday, probably the warmest day out of the bunch for most of you. So enjoy that. I know it's been a rough week, and you know, a lot of those folks dealing with snow, and so I'm sure that those 70s and 80s are very welcome.
Finally seeing some spring weather across the Northeast after a
Finally.
very long winter. Hey, you know what? The March jobs report is out now, and according to the Commerce Department, the economy created 98,000 jobs last month.
That's right, but according to economists at Goldman Sachs, that number could have been 30 to 60,000 jobs higher were it not for the weather. Business weather expert Paul Walsh joins us now to discuss that. Hey there, Paul.
Good morning.
Good morning, Paul. And, we know the weather impacts everything, but how does the weather impact the job numbers?
Monday. So yes, some very welcome warm air coming in finally here to the Midwest. Right now we're at 58 in Chicago, 50s in Indianapolis, 65 in St. Louis, 62 in Des Moines. So things have certainly warmed up considerably compared to what we've been dealing with here. And as we track out our high temperatures for the day today, Chicago, you're going to be up at 76 degrees, finally feeling like spring, in Cleveland as well at 73. Indy up around 75, as well as Cincinnati. So that's going to feel great, and that warmth is actually going to last as well as we get into Monday. But we do have a severe weather threat. Along with the good comes the bad, right? So here's a look at tomorrow. We will see possibly some damaging winds, hail being the primary threat, stretching from Detroit to Indianapolis. Chicago, you're going to be right on the edge of it, all the way back down into Paducah, Kentucky, southern Illinois as well for you. So we will be looking at a timing of probably afternoon into the evening hours for you. As we take a look at the ingredients of those strong low-level winds meeting up with our upper-level disturbance. So for tomorrow, you'll notice all of the messy weather here on the map in places like the Twin Cities. Could see a little bit of mixing there for you, but temperatures are going to be up in the 40s, so it's not going to stick. Chicago for you, as I mentioned, some spotty showers and thunderstorms by the time we get into the afternoon commute, so plan ahead there. Same goes for you in Detroit, even as we get into Monday evening. That's where we could see that severe weather threat really continuing. As we get to Tuesday, though, look at this. You clear out, but with that, there go those nice temperatures as well. We're back into the 50s here across portions of the Midwest. So you got to take the good with the bad. Take the good while you get it, though.
Yeah, and the Midwest, no stranger to weather disasters. In fact, last year alone, weather disasters cost the U.S. $46 billion, with flooding topping that list. That's why it's very important to know where floods are most likely to occur.
That's right. Joining us now via Skype is Brian Calori. He's Senior Vice President of FM Global, and his company has a new tool that can help. Good morning, Brian. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
We've created a new free global flood map. So tell us, how does it work?